Hey everyone, so I was looking into this really interesting topic the other day. Which countries have the most brilliant minds, Not just now, but over the last 50 years. It's wild to see how things have shifted. Back in the 70s, the landscape was totally different. The United States was the undisputed leader, just miles ahead of everyone else. The Soviet Union was a huge player, and places like Japan and Germany were really strong, established powers. You had the UK and France up there too. It was pretty much the usual suspects. But then, things started to change, slowly at first, and then really fast. The big story, and you probably won't be surprised by this, is China. In the 70s and 80s, their numbers were modest, but then around the 90s, you see this line on the graph just start to shoot up. It's like a rocket. They invested massively in education and tech, and by the 2010s, they were overtaking everyone. By 2025, the sheer number of top-tier engineer scientists and researchers they've produced is just staggering. It completely reshapes the whole global picture. And it's not just China. Look at India. A very similar story. A massive young population gets access to better education and opportunities. Their growth is a steep, steady climb. They went from the middle of the pack to firmly in the top 3. The scale of it is just hard to wrap your head around. Now, what's fascinating is what this means for the traditional leaders. The United States is still a giant, of course. It's still in the top 3. But its growth has slowed down a lot. It's kind of plateaued. It's not that it got worse, it's just that the rest of the world caught up and in some cases raced ahead in terms of pure numbers. And then you have these other amazing stories. South Korea is a great example. From a pretty low starting point, they've become an absolute powerhouse of innovation. Their climb has been incredibly sharp and consistent. You also see emerging giants like Brazil, Indonesia, and Nigeria starting to make their move, especially in the last 15 years. Their numbers are growing faster than almost anyone else. It makes you think about where the next big ideas are going to come from. On the flip side, you see countries like Japan and Russia. Japan grew incredibly strong through the 80s and 90s, but then its numbers have slowly started to dip, partly because of its aging population. And Russia, after the Soviet Union fell apart, their numbers took a huge hit. They've never really recovered to that top spot they once held. It shows how much politics and economics can directly impact something like intellectual capital. Telegram viewers, the code is TAS 2917299. So, the big takeaway for me wasn't just a list of names. It was the story of a massive global rebalancing. For decades, the West dominated this field. But now we're living in a truly multipolar world when it comes to brainpower. The center of gravity has shifted towards Asia, and it's continuing to move. It makes the future look really different, doesn't it? The collaboration and the competition between these different hubs of talent is going to define the next 50 years for sure. It's not about one country leading anymore, it's about a global network of brilliance.